What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, June 27th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the rogue one, Gary Whitta.
Hello, Greg.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
What is this outfit you're wearing? Is this some World Cup thing I should understand?
You're not watching the World Cup?
Of course not.
Why not?
It's stupid.
The greatest show on earth.
What? No, that's Barnum and Bailey.
No. That's all done with now. That's all closed up. No, the greatest show on earth. Very good today. Germany, defending champions, got knocked out in the group stages.
Oh my
Big
gosh.
shock.
Yeah?
Third time in a row now, third tournament in a row, the defending champions went out in the first round.
Wow.
So a lot of
who's
giant
left
killing. Well, there'll be six by the end of the week. They started with 32.
Okay.
Half the teams get knocked out in the first round. There'll be 16 teams left. One of which, of course,
So this is still week one.
My beloved England.
Okay.
Still in there.
Yeah.
Still fighting away.
Well, what are their odds? How are they looking out there?
They're actually, England typically, we won the. See this little star here?
Uh-huh.
Want to give a little bit of World Cup trivia? If you see that star there, that means we won the World Cup.
Yeah, but I mean, when?
Well, before I was born.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that star,
1966.
Okay.
You keep it forever.
Sure, no, I understand that.
And so you'll notice, like, Argentina have 2 stars above their crest because they won it twice. Germany won it 4 times, so they get 4 stars.
Who's got the most stars?
I think Brazil.
Okay. Yeah.
And Germany is I think Brazil has 5.
Okay.
They have more World Cups than anyone else, and they're playing today.
Okay.
But England typically are known for heartbreak at the World Cup. We don't typically do well, and we typically go out in spectacularly dramatic, heartbreaking fashion.
Gotcha.
But this year, we have great players. We have a promising young coach. There's a different atmosphere around the team. People are very excited. And we have probably the best striker in the world right now in Harry Kane, who currently is the highest scoring player at the World Cup. So a lot of excitement. We play Belgium tomorrow in kind of a meaningless game because we already qualified.
Okay, so even if you lose tomorrow, you're fine.
Yeah, even if we lose tomorrow, it doesn't really matter. It just determines kind of like how you progressed into the next round, who you play in the next round. But yeah, I'm excited. It's been a terrific World Cup, a lot of giant killing, a lot of great goals.
See, here's my thing. I have nothing against the World Cup, period. Full stop. What I had a problem with is every year when the World Cup comes around and the USA is actually in it, which they aren't this year.
Not this year, that's right.
So many goddamn fair weather fans acting like they've always cared about soccer, and I've always known. You've never known. Today's a great example of like, well, yeah, your team, the USA's not there. You don't like soccer. You're not out there talking about it. And the people who do always tweet about and talk about in Instagram when they're watching soccer games, I don't have a problem with you. I'm sure the bandwagon, when the bandwagon gets going and these people all act like in America, they act like they care about soccer.
I get it. I mean, America,
Football.
one of the reasons why Americans typically don't watch the World Cup very much is I think that Americans are usually only interested in things they can win.
Sure.
And they're not going to win the World Cup anytime soon. They didn't even qualify this time around. But it's a shame because the World Cup this year is so great, and it's such a great advertisement for why it's the greatest game in the world.
Sure.
That I kind of wish more Americans were watching it. But of course, what you can do is, what's your heritage? Sure, you can go back into your
American.
immigrant. What, you're Native American?
That's what. No, just American. Just straight American. Thank you. Thank you. Kevin Quell, he understands. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Go back into your heritage and figure out where you're from.
How's the Irish doing?
They're not in it.
Yeah, see, there you go. Me and Danny O'Dwyer over there.
Of course, Miller. That's right. There's nothing for you.
Well, Kennedy was my mom.
Kennedy.
So there you go.
Yeah. So you got nothing.
Now, here's my next question for you on obscure things about sports that have nothing to do with Kind of Funny Games Daily. In the movie Wimbledon, Wimbledon.
It's so weird how Americans, even though it's clearly spelled with a D, Americans all say Wimbledon.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Kevin, why do we say it like that?
Whatever, herbs,
It's Wimbledon.
Herbs,
it's Wimbledon with a D.
Wimbledon.
Yes, that's
in the
tennis.
hit movie
that's
Wimbledon. I know.
There is a Wimbledon football club, but
you're
referring to a different sport.
In the hit movie Wimbledon, Kirsten Dunst. And then fucking
Paul Bettany, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say Vision. Okay. Well,
Vision, that's right.
It's a big
Vision
deal.
would probably be amazing at tennis.
It'd be amazing. It's a big deal that he wins it. Spoilers for the movie Wimbledon. Because he's the first guy from the UK to actually win it in forever. First guy from England to win it forever.
And since that movie came out, we did actually have a real British player who did win Wimbledon.
Now, but was there a fake British guy before that? Because there was a time when that happened, and I tweeted about this, and I'm like, I know this is a big deal because of Wimbledon. And then a bunch of
You're
Englanders,
still saying Wimbledon. I'm going to keep calling you on that until you fix
Englanders over there got all mad at me saying he wasn't really from England. He was from like whatever, this other thing.
Andy Murray, he's Scottish, but he's British, just not English.
Okay.
So we haven't had an English player win it since I think Fred Perry in the 1950s.
Okay.
And it's our, Wimbledon is it's the great English-British tennis tournament. So you'd expect British players to do well, but typically British players don't, Olympics we do well in certain things like rowing and stuff like that, but we don't really excel in sports.
Okay.
We excel in arts and culture and the sciences and things like that.
Sure.
But
you boil a lot of food too, right?
What's that?
You boil a lot of food. That's
No.
always a joke people make about you.
Again, we put up with a lot of stereotypes
over
on our little island, and many of them are justly deserved. I mean,
I was going to say, you pushed the world around for quite a while.
we did.
You got to come
We
in.
pushed 3/4 of the world around for about 2 centuries, and now we're getting what we deserve as Brexit shrinks us into global obscurity. But for right now, yes, England doing very well. World Cup is fantastic. If you're not watching it, you should definitely. If you're going to watch any World Cup, watch this one this year because it's been just tremendous.
All right. And if you need a good movie to watch, go watch Wimbledon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every week down a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. kindoffunny.com/KFGD with your questions, comments, concerns, bad PSN names, and everything else under the video game sun. Then watch us record it live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and listening on podcast services around the globe, including that new Google Podcast Android app thing that everybody was talking about yesterday. Housekeeping for you, Gary. Prom is this week. If you are here in San Francisco, like so many of you are, or you will be soon for Kind of Funny Prom, make sure you use the hashtag KFProm on all your social posts so we can keep up with you, and then we will see you Saturday night for the first ever Kind of Funny Prom. You don't want to miss it. Tickets are still available if you want to come last minute. Gary Whitta, are you coming?
Yes.
That's
so.
a no. That's a probable no on Gary
Do you have
Whitta.
a lot of people coming in from out of town for this?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, like just for this.
Yeah,
They've made travel plans and hotels and
the
everything.
majority of people do that.
That's
yeah.
dedication.
We have a whole bunch of people from merry old England there, you know?
Oh,
Mark
okay.
Freeman, he's already in town. He's doing that. They were going to get ice cream today. They
Who's
went to
that?
Pachi's last night. He's a fan from England.
Okay.
Yeah, our best friend from England.
All right.
Amy Gill's from Ireland. She's coming in.
Okay.
Yeah. Danny
Well,
O'Dwyer
it's
can't
a
get his ass off the fucking East Coast to come see
Global
us.
event. Danny's not coming.
No, he's a
Well,
loser.
then why? So I feel like that makes him cooler than me because he's not.
No,
if I make
he
the
walked away.
effort to go and he doesn't bother.
No.
Isn't he more cool
left,
than me?
He
'Cause he
left
can
the
kinda take it or
marriage.
leave it.
You know what? He left the marriage, and you're here now building a home and a family with us.
Right.
So you're here. You need to come with Andrea and Jared and all them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? See the crazy outfits. See the crazy lights.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, good. And then today we're brought to you by Hims, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. That was dramatic.
I stuttered.
That was like you were doing like the Man of Steel or the walk into John Williams Superman.
I was trying to go dramatic, but I stuttered.
Okay. 3 items on the Roper Report. They're all meaty. Don't shake your head in disgust.
All right.
The first one's a big one, ladies and gentlemen. Praise the Lord. There's hope for Fortnite, PS4 crossplay or cross progression or something. This is via Eurogamer's Wesley Yin-Poole. At the Game Lab conference in Spain today, Shawn Layden, president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment America and chairman of SIE Worldwide Studios and PS4 system architect Mark Cerny delivered a presentation about the legacy of PlayStation. At the end of the talk, Eurogamer reporter Robert Purchase put the crossplay issue to Layden. Here's what he said. Have you been following this, Gary?
Fortnite and PS4.
And yeah, and Rocket League and a little bit of other stuff, but mainly it's been Fortnite recently that put it back on. Everybody's talking.
So you're talking about the cross-play?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I as you know, I'm a big advocate for cross-play. I
Sure.
hate the fact that we all live inside our own little walled gardens. Like
Right.
Division 2, we talked about this the other day. We know we're going to play Division 2,
Yeah.
but I'm probably going to go Xbox. You obviously will go PS4.
Yeah.
So we won't be able to play together, but I want to play together.
Right.
So why can't they just fix this stuff? So, I mean, it's the same game.
Exactly.
Why can't we play across
Well, the biggest thing, I
platforms?
mean, especially with Fortnite, right, is the fact that it's already happening on PlayStation 4. You can play with PC, you can play with mobile, can't play with Xbox, can't play with Switch.
You can. So wait, hold on. So we talked about this before the show. You're
Yeah.
playing Fortnite on the Switch,
Right.
If I go pick it up on Xbox,
Yeah.
you and I can play together, right?
Right.
So I mean, clearly it's doable.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Why aren't all games embracing this? I
Great
know that there are
question.
technical challenges.
And so that there was this the whole problem of crossplay had popped up, and then it was recently cross progression when they dropped Fortnite in the way that if you had ever played Fortnite on PlayStation 4, your account is locked to PlayStation 4. You can't bring your account over to Nintendo and get any of your rewards. You can't disassociate from your PlayStation account and bring it over.
That sucks too.
Yeah, totally.
So,
So this has
like,
been. Let me get to the new information. Though.
All right.
So that's been the recap. Robert, from Eurogamer put this question to Shawn Layden. I thought it was fascinating you talking about PlayStation 3 flying too close to the sun. Your Icarus moment, you called it. And then PlayStation 4 coming back to more to basics, to be about the players. But there seems to be an issue at the moment that Sony isn't listening to players, or doesn't seem to be, and that's crossplay. Fortnite particularly. And I wondered if there were any plans to open it up. It seems to be Sony's not listening.
This is the question that the journalist asked at the event.
Yes, this is Eurogamer Robert Purchase fucking killing it at the Game Lab from the audience, I guess, asking Shawn Layden this question. Shawn Layden responds with this. Layden replied by saying he could only offer one short statement. Here it is. We're hearing it. We're looking at a lot of possibilities. You can imagine that the circumstances around that affect a lot more than just one game. I'm confident we'll get to a solution which will be understood and accepted by our gaming community, while at the same time supporting our business.
Word salad. Hey,
at least they're saying the right thing, because what happened during E3 was I made us think about this. A whole bunch of people made us think about it. Mainstream press was like, wait, what? There are PC players, Gary, who spent hundreds of dollars. Somebody recently wrote into our show, and I think it was they spent $380 so far on Fortnite PC, right?
Cosmetics and things like that.
Buying the battle passes, having a great time, enjoying it, spending their money, not doing loot boxes, getting what they want.
They're very invested in that game on that platform.
But here's what happened, is they were PC players who, it's cross-play with PlayStation. I'm going to go and play with a friend on PlayStation.
Right.
Which associated their PlayStation account to it, right?
Right.
And then, unbeknownst to them, that locked them forever. So now, even if they're mainly PC players, they play just one game over on PlayStation with their PSN or whatever, they can't disassociate it to take their $380 and plug it into Switch or anywhere else.
But does it mess up their PC game?
Yes, they're fully locked over on their
That's
PC
terrible.
is locked to that. Yeah, that's the bigger problem.
So they're forced now to just play on PlayStation forever.
Or PC, or like
their stuff carries over, but they can't bring it. They can't get it back on PC. Is that what it is?
No, it's carries over, but you can't take it to Switch or Xbox.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like it would be like akin to you and me playing, and I was at your house, and you're like, I got an extra PlayStation, jump on and play Fortnite. All right, I'll log into my Epic account here. No big deal. I have a whole bunch of cool PC stuff unlocked.
But not knowing that you're making like a lifetime commitment.
Once you link your Epic account to that PlayStation network, you're done. That's locked in. And that was the big deal.
Well, I mean, to go back to this kind of seems like a non-answer to me. We're looking at it maybe not.
So during E3, to bring you back up to speed, during E3, everybody raised the red flags. This sucks. What are you doing? And Sony put out a horribly tone-deaf response. Okay. That was just basically like, hey, with 80 million players, why would you want to play anywhere else? And everybody's like, that wasn't even the fucking question. Like, what? No, you've locked our accounts. You've done all these things. Don't you understand the real problem here? So Shawn Layden being asked point blank and we're hearing it. We're looking into a lot of possibilities. I hope, again, we're not too far away. Again, I don't even... Crossplay is great, and it would be awesome if it happened. If it doesn't happen, no big deal. But locking the accounts, locking people out of content they've paid for, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I understand why crossplay can be difficult because there's all kinds of server architecture across platforms when you're playing live, on the same map. I get that. Obviously, they've figured out a way to deal with it. But just being able to kind of, like you said, cross progression, being able to log freely into any platform, again, the way that Microsoft does between the Xbox One and Windows, progression is universal. That doesn't seem, I mean, I'm not an engineer, but it doesn't seem like should be that difficult.
No, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I know I'm bringing you up to speed on this whole thing. That was my whole argument, is that I've already put money into my Epic account on PlayStation. Not a lot, but enough that I was like, oh, cool, I get to bring these over to Switch. And when I couldn't, I made what I thought would become my throwaway account on Switch, and now that's my main account. I unlinked everything and linked it to that account. So now PlayStation gets none of my money, none of my time. Yeah, exactly.
Because they did not cater to you.
Exactly.
So I am getting up to speed here on Fortnite.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 is the outlier. All the other platforms that Fortnite is on don't have this problem.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Xbox, Switch, phones, PC, all that can play together.
That's not a good look for Sony, is it?
No, not at all.
They need to fix that.
Exactly.
Especially considering it's the biggest game right now. They don't want to be... It's like all the cool kids are playing over here, and Sony's like over here with their own.
I'm telling you, they need to just do a direct in a couple months where it's come out. It's a YouTube video. It's on the blog, whatever, and it's like, hey, we've heard everything. We're not doing crossplay. We don't want you to play with Xbox people, and we don't want to compete with them. But cross account progression, we're going to unlock. That's fine. You can change your PSN names. We're going to allow that to happen. And then there was something else I thought that
when even a PlayStation stalwart like yourself crosses over to another platform because Sony is not checking the boxes they need to check. That's a problem.
100%. Mr. Hunter writes in with a take on this question, but I know a lot of you are sick of Fortnite. I tweeted out a funny comment somebody made in one of the things. Mr. Hunter says, hey guys, with a new statement from Sony saying they are listening to fans when it comes to the backlash over crossplay, it made me wonder how much we can buy into this statement. The PlayStation 4 is an amazing system with great exclusive titles, but I honestly struggle to remember the last time Sony addressed issues from fans in a timely manner. PSN names, backwards compatibility, Epic accounts, the list goes on. Every time something comes up, we get a statement We get a nothing statement and a brag over sales. Is Sony just a great console company with weak fan service? Love all you do. Keep it up, Mr. Hunter.
I don't think, and maybe it's gotten better in recent years, but I don't think Sony's online community and multiplayer functionality in their use, I don't think it's ever been that great. I feel like that's one area where they've always been a little bit behind Xbox.
Well, I mean, for Xbox 360 and PlayStation,
Xbox Live's
3,
always been better than PSN.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think this year they're comparable enough, and I don't know enough to tell you about not even Xbox Live, but I mean in terms of playing multiplayer games, because that's really something that's newish to me, where I'm not doing that in a way that I know anything about party chat on PlayStation. Or Xbox.
I wouldn't even know how to get started like on a party chat thing on PlayStation. It's easy on Xbox, and the argument
it's not that hard here.
Well, the argument used to be, it's free on PlayStation, but it's not anymore. Now you've got to pay.
Right.
So if you're paying as much for PlayStation Online as you are Xbox, you need to be able to say, it's as good.
Yeah, we've done it before.
It's not difficult. I'd say it's fairly easy.
I would speak it to. I mean, I would assume it's comparable in terms of Xbox.
I've never done it on Xbox.
Have we for party modes? Yeah, for party modes we've done it. It's been whatever.
In my personal use, I have as well.
Okay. Oh, for you
PUBG, yeah.
Yeah. Mainly though, to Mr. Hunter's question, like, is Sony is it a great console company with weak fan service? I feel like backwards compatibility, Xbox doubled down on and came back to, whereas PlayStation didn't. They kept moving forward on it, right? And they were just done with it this generation. I don't know if you want to chalk that up to, because again, I don't think backwards compatibility matters to the masses. I think it matters to a small sect of people.
I think it's a very niche thing.
And so, fine. PSN names, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's still a question.
You can't change them?
Yeah, you still can't change your PSN name. That this is still an ongoing thing. Again, remember at PSX this year, I asked Shawn Layden on stage, like, what's going on with that? That was my first question, right? And he said, hopefully this time next year, you won't have that question again.
Kind of amazing to me, just the whole, as you lay out these basic things that Sony obviously is doing tremendous, right? They're, again, we don't know all the numbers, but they're clearly outstripping Xbox in terms of sales.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's the number one console. It's the most popular one.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of things right. The hardware is great. A lot of great games. They totally turned it around. If you think about it, the great picture of it is the opposite of the last generation, where the 360 was kicking ass, PlayStation 3 kind of stumbled out of the gate, and with this next generation, it was the exact opposite. Xbox One stumbled out of the gate, PS4 took an early lead and never really gave it up, and it's because they did a lot of things right. But the surprising thing is, they're still as popular as they are, and even they're doing some fundamental things wrong. They haven't fixed basic things, like the online play is not brilliant, can't fix your PSN name, weird things like this Fortnite anomaly. Like, who is asleep at the switch at Sony?
Yeah, and it's the question, that I think's, well poised here by Robert, is the fact that, PlayStation 3 was, them getting knocked on their ass because of their hubris coming out of the PlayStation 2 era.
Could be a bit of hubris.
And then PlayStation 4's success is because of the struggles of PlayStation 3. But now that they're back on top, are they
is hubris setting in again?
Exactly. Yeah. And we'll have to see. I think these are all, I'm not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater and say that everything's gone to hell over there. I think Shawn Layden and the team over there is a bunch of smart people who do care about gamers and do care about games. But now they have great pieces of ways to prove it. And if they don't fix this account shit, if they don't fix PSN names, and they don't tell you why, that's the bigger issue.
How bad would it have to get for them to lose your loyalty and you become an Xbox guy or a Switch guy or a PC guy? I mean, that's not going to happen. But
my loyalties are overblown, and I lean into them obviously in terms of characters and stuff.
But PlayStation is your platform of choice.
Sure, but I mean, it's because I like trophies and I'm invested there.
Right.
Like I don't. What would they start doing in nickel and diming you? I mean, like I think it's a game by game basis before all of a sudden I'm just playing everything on Xbox 360 or Switch.
Right.
Because that was the thing with Fortnite, and even with Fortnite, where all right, cool, I'm playing it on the Switch now. It became the thing of like, well, when I get home, I'm sure I'll play it on my Xbox, and do the thing. And now I'm like, well, no, you know what? I'm getting a rhythm for the Switch Pro controller. I don't want to shake that up by trying to learn Xbox on top of it.
Plus, you've got all your stuff, your collectibles and things are in. Right. Again, you start to get invested in having that platform.
Oh yeah,
you don't want to start over on. Oh well,
not even start over. Like my stuff from the Switch would carry over to the Xbox, right? Like
that's true. Yeah.
It's just the thing of like, oh, my Xbox is there, and my Switch has always been more of a portable unit. Like again, this is doing the thing of, man, I'm only using my PlayStation right for the last 2 weeks.
Sometimes it is just the
movies.
controller. And one of the things that I've learned the hard way is, again, it's really, really hard to go from Nintendo fingers to Xbox fingers because of the way the A and B buttons are flipped. I really wish they would have some kind of summit in Geneva or something and fix that shit.
Right,
and just say, look, the A and B buttons are here and here.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have to switch them.
Yeah.
And let's just say, because it's the worst. Like constantly, you have this thing, right, where you come back from the Switch or you come back from the Xbox.
Canceling out everything, trying to confirm.
You start putting out menus all the time because you're hitting B when you think you're hitting A. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, 100%. But to this point, yeah, like my Switch has been getting nonstop usage, which is totally changed the way I look at my Switch now, as I am plugging into the dock as soon as I get home, playing on the TV. And it is now of like, well, I want a Platinum Luminous on PlayStation, but I also have Luminous chilling on the Switch. It's right there. And then we're coming down the road on Project Octopath, right?
It is brilliant.
Playing
the
that,
Switch,
and it's just
it?
like,
the
well,
Switch is just great.
My PlayStation's starting to collect dust outside of playing Netflix.
Again, I haven't really paid. It's remiss of me because it's the biggest game on the planet right now, and I haven't paid a ton of attention to Fortnite. Is the Switch version? Is it a full fat version? Is it as good as any other version you would play elsewhere?
Well, I mean, it doesn't run as well or look as good, like, because it is Switch. Like there's a graphical download. I think there's more hitches and stuff. I think it's it's not the 60 frames.
But if you're let's say that you and I play on the same map, cross play Switch and Xbox, and I'm on the Xbox, you're on the Switch.
Yeah.
Would you feel like I had an advantage over you performance wise?
Performance-wise, you're going to be better, but I haven't noticed it where we're playing on cross servers. We had Andy, we streamed yesterday, and Andy was playing on PC, and he did it the day before too. And it wasn't that people were, oh my God, like, we're playing cross-platform and we just got destroyed. It's because it was because, we're playing cross-platform. These people have been playing a lot longer.
Does it extend to PC as well? Can you find, it's okay. So
Yeah.
PC players surely would have an advantage just with like aiming and mouse control.
The other day I got shot 4 miles away.
Kevin keeps saying this 4 miles thing. We keep making fun of him.
When you
Map's not even 4 miles wide.
When you log into a server, and I apologize for the rookie questions
don't
here,
worry
but I'm
about it.
catching up. I'm sure other people out there hopefully have the same questions, so it's not just for me. Can you decide to play just with Switch players, or is there a toggle to say I want to go
By
cross-platform?
default, you're drawing from the same platform. But
Okay.
then if you use your Epic friends and you bring in a PC person or whatever, then you get pushed over into like everybody's platform thing.
Got it. And presumably you can tell when you see the player list what platform everyone's on.
When you see who's in your party, the player list when you're like, it's like 100 people, so you never see that stuff pop up to see what they're playing on or whatever.
Right.
But it's more of it's more the quality of player I think you're finding on PC or Xbox because they've been playing longer. The best part about Switch right now when you're playing with just Switch people is I feel like so many of us are just picking it up for the first time.
Yeah, if I might get it for the Switch and give it a try, and I would definitely stay with the Switch people.
Join us!
I think I think you and I just became Switch buddies. I saw you popping up on Mario Tennis the other day.
Yeah, I'm all over.
I've been playing that myself.
How good are you?
Not very good yet. I only just started though.
Shout out to Andy Cortez who went over to IGN.com's live stream of tennis yesterday and just kicked Barrett's teeth in. Made an embarrassment out of IGN.com's Barrett Courtney. You can hit him up, Sad Boy Barrett, on Twitter and say you're a disgusting, disgraced IGN.
I remember talking some trash to you about you and I playing Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
I got to admit, after a couple of days of playing it, I may need to bring in the trash a little bit.
Rein it back a bit.
I'm not taking out the trash. I'm going to bring the trash in because you probably right now. My guess is if you and I played right now, you'd destroy me. I got to get my tennis fingers back.
Dude, I'll tell you, Andy's so good. Like when I sat down to play Andy after we had won the tournament and done all the stuff with it for party mode, I was like, all right, we play. And he just clowned me out. I was like, all right, well, you're way better.
Have you played any online?
No. Well, I did during the beta. I haven't done with the final version because again, Fortnite. I just want to play Fortnite. It's an addiction for me right now.
I know. Sometimes when a game gets its claws into you, just don't want to play anything else. Now, I'll give it a try.
As I said, I know many of you are sick of the Fortnite news. I'm sorry about that first part.
What are you going to do? It's the biggest game right
I know.
now.
This is Andrew made a great point that this is very much like PUBG last year, where we talked about PUBG every show at this point.
If you put Fortnite in your show header, do you get more views? Is Fortnite a traffic
not like
driver
drastically.
for you?
No, because people are coming here the same. They just want the hotness. And they want to hear about what's going on with your soccer teams. You know what I mean? That's what they want.
That's what they want. They want the World Cup update.
But here we go. As I was saying, it was like this last year with PUBG. Let's combine both of the hot things and go to number 2, which is PUBG has dropped its Fortnite lawsuit. This is via Bloomberg's Sam Kim. PUBG Corp sent a letter of withdrawal to Epic Games Inc.'s attorneys on Monday, and the South Korean case has been closed. According to the website of the local court system, PUBG and its law firm confirmed the action, but wouldn't say why or whether a settlement has been reached. Representatives in Epic in Korea had no immediate.
So there had been a lawsuit, and now there isn't.
Yeah, basically saying you're a knockoff of us or whatever, right?
Right.
Like,
I wonder if there was some kind of secret settlement or something.
I think.
Or it was like a shot across the bow.
I think public reaction was so bad. You know what I mean? You dial this back to a year ago.
The reaction to the lawsuit was bad?
Yeah, everybody's like, really PUBG? But I mean, you dial back to a year ago when this happened, when Fortnite's like, we love PUBG so much, we're going to make a battle royale. We went, okay, well, enjoy that.
I mean, again,
game nobody cares about.
After E3, our predictions were proven right. Everyone's developing battle royale right now because it's so hot right now. Fortnite was the first one out of the gate. I got to admit, if I was PUBG, if I was Brendan, I'd be a little bit disgruntled.
Sure. Here's the problem.
Because come on, let's be honest, it is a knockoff. For that battle royale mode in Fortnite would not exist without PUBG.
Sure. Fair. Yeah, I mean, I
Or
think they said it's
H1Z1 or any of the other games.
Here's the bigger problem, I think, with the sour grapes from the audience and public reception was the fact that Fortnite launches and catches PUBG flat-footed.
Right.
Where it just runs laps around them. Where PUBG this time last year,
Fortnite has definitely crossed some kind of pop culture barrier.
But PUBG
right?
was doing that last year this time before Fortnite did that. Remember where we were talking about it's a new level of concurrence on Steam. Oh my gosh, this game's crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then Fortnite came out and like, all right, cool. Battle Pass seasons, we're doing updates to the map all the time. We're doing this crazy thing. And PUBG's like, all right, cool, we got one new map. And everyone's like, we hate this map. I'm like, ah, crap. And it's just this nonstop thing of the way they've run away with it. And then the reaction, I don't know if you caught this, PUBG then is trying to copy Fortnite and make their own PUBG event ticket, which is like the Battle Pass for Fortnite. And people flipped out about
Well, again, I feel like if you're going to, again, if I were PUBG, I'd be saying if you're going to steal from us, we'll steal from you.
Sure, but again, PUBG's audience then flipped out about that. Of just like, Fortnite's a free-to-play game. Like, I understand why I'm paying for a Battle Pass there. We've given you our money. We know how successful
That's the difference.
you've been.
I do wonder if down the road PUBG might go free-to-play or change its model or do something to...
compete,
even the score. But it has been fascinating to watch Fortnite cross this kind of pop culture barrier. Again, to go back to the World Cup, there was a player the other day scored a fantastic goal, and his celebration was from Fortnite.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize, oh shit, like this has reached another level.
I was talking about this, recently in one of the conversations. I think the Gamescast where we talked about Fortnite Switch, and it was it's very easy to sit there and talk about the games that have crossed are generational, right? Where it's like, yep, everybody was playing Pokemon Go. That was a movement at the time. You go back to something like World of Warcraft, which transcends, but not like this. I feel this is so crazy.
Yeah, not even WoW. I don't think.
I put up an image of.
I don't know. I mean, there was like a South Park episode of WoW, and it's
there was one I had on the tip of my tongue before WoW, and I forgot it, so I moved away from it. But it was Fortnite, and then I was talking about Pokemon Go.
Yeah, what are the other games that maybe you want to open?
Minecraft. That was the one I was.
Minecraft is,
but even
one.
Minecraft, I feel like
Minecraft
didn't
is the
have
last one.
this saturation. For
Oh,
the
I
longest
don't know.
time.
I think I would say Minecraft is still the biggest pop culture.
But Minecraft had such a longer tail. What I'm saying is, I don't think Minecraft, in its first year of existence as a mode, did this kind of like what everybody was.
It may have taken longer, but it's funny. You can tell. Like I was in Target the other day, and I started to see all the knockoff, unofficial Fortnite books and merchandise and stuff.
My grocery store sells the Fortnite magazine at the top. Like, here's a tips and tricks.
The unofficial magazine, because obviously they're all just people trying to cash in.
Of course, yeah.
But that's when you start seeing shit at Target and at the World Cup, you know that a level has been crossed. And you're right, Minecraft is definitely the last great example of this.
Well, it's like I put up an image of our squad on Instagram, and my cousin, who's a third grade teacher, is like, all of my students are obsessed with this, and I'm like, everyone is obsessed with this.
I think that probably is, and again, I'm definitely in the camp of feeling like Fortnite was a little bit cheeky and again, they needed to do something right, because if you remember, the original Fortnite game was dying on its feet.
Yeah, nobody cared.
And they were like, we need something radical out to save this thing before it dies. They saw PUBG and said, well, what about that? Let's knock that off.
Yeah.
And it's been incredibly successful. I think the two biggest things driving it are obviously free to play. I mean, I was on the eShop the other day. Free download? Shit, why not? I mean, there's no barrier to entry.
Yeah.
And the fact that the more cartoony, Team Fortressy style, I think, opens it up to younger players. I wouldn't want
100%.
my 12-year-old playing Battlegrounds because it's too photorealistic, violent, and it feels very, very real.
Yeah.
But I guess I probably wouldn't have a problem with them playing Fortnite because it's more cartoony.
Yeah, I was trying to explain it to my butcher who was asking questions about this. Like, my nephew's obsessed with it, and he was like, "Oh, it's a gun game?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's not. There's no blood, there's no gore. It's just you get dropped, you get knocked out."
But again, I haven't played it. But what I'm also hearing from these guys in asking a few questions about it before the show is it doesn't have that sphincter tightening.
It does.
Oh my god, this is so intense.
It
like
does.
the final circle in
does.
PUBG. I would say one of the things that I think made PUBG a phenomenon is when you're down to the last few players and the circle's like this big and you're hiding in the grass and you don't know where the other guy is. Man, your heartbeat is going.
See, the problem is you're talking to people in here who are bad at the game.
Right.
Greg Miller, who's won the game multiple times. When
PUBG or Fortnite?
Both of them.
Okay.
When you get down to where it is the final three and it is like pandemonium, and like for me, somebody who can't build well yet in Fortnite, where I'm running around somebody else's structures trying to dodge them, figure out where they're going to go. It is the same thing of in PUBG when I win a chicken dinner, but it would be running and I hear the bullets whizzing by and trying to get a car, trying to get a house, trying to figure out what's going to be.
How are you on Switch? How are you coordinating in a squad without voice comm?
Well, it has it.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. On top of...
I thought Switch... I didn't think Nintendo
on
would
top
allow
of
that.
Epic being like, hey, everybody, we need to fucking figure out crossplay. We're going to will this into existence. They were like, oh, cool. Nintendo, we're not going to use your app. We're just going to, if you plug the headphone jack in with a mic, you can talk to each other.
I would have thought that Nintendo would not have allowed that.
I would have as well, but they did not stop them. They did not stop Fortnite.
That's one of the things that makes Nintendo feel like a safe ecosystem for kids is you can't get like perverts and stuff, but you could encounter
can be
pervs
anywhere.
on
Trust me.
Fortnite, I suppose.
Trust me, perverts are everywhere and anywhere. Number 3, Super Bomberman R's free patch brings Snake, Xavier Woods, and more. This is via Kotaku's Luke Plunkett. This is a fun one. Super Bomberman R kind of came and went last year, but Konami have since decided to go the Smash Brothers route with the game and start hyping up post-release guest appearances like WWE wrestler Xavier Woods, the Commish, and some from Metal Gear, including Snake, who will be voiced by series stalwart David Hayter. Also, it has Ratchet and Clank on PlayStation, Master Chief over on Xbox, and they are voiced by their counterparts as well.
You know what I'd like to see? Battle Royale Bomberman. Put 100 players in a map.
Sure. You just love Battle Royale?
I mean, again, everyone's looking for how they can plug it in right now.
Well, what I found interesting about this one is David Hayter's back as the voice, and so did Mike Layden. Mike wrote in to kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, hey, Greg and Gary, I fell out of love with Metal Gear. It had been my favorite game series since Metal Gear Solid dropped on the PlayStation 1 in 1998, and a major contribution had been David Hayter's performance as Snake. David being recast in Metal Gear Solid 5 was really the beginning of the series losing luster for me, and from there, it just snowballed more and more as news about Kojima and Konami split during 5's development came out. Lately, David Hayter has been returning to the role, with his confirmation of returning in Smash Brothers and the recent Super Bomberman R trailer. I'm starting to feel those pitter-patters of Metal Gear Solid love in my heart again. If a post-Kojima Metal Gear was ever released with David reprising as Snake was revealed, would you be excited for the series again? Mike. Where did you come down? Did you ever care about Metal Gear?
Yeah, Metal Gear 2 was one of my favorite games.
Hell yeah.
I played that to death.
Hell yeah, you did.
I loved that. I still remember the part of it that's kind of on the big oil platforms, the big overwater platforms, the rig.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's fantastic. And then of course
the big shell.
And then the last 30 minutes when it just devolves into absolute madness.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and watch it. I remember I was my roommate Jim Preston, who used to work for EA. At the time, we were both playing it, and it was one of those games, again, like it's one of those things where you don't want to play anything else until you're done with it.
Yeah.
Like, you're just so into it.
Yeah.
But then after that, I think Metal Gear 2, I think, was the last one I was seriously into.
Gotcha.
What's the best one in the series?
Peace Walker, 100%.
Which one is that? 4 or 5?
PSP one. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the last good one?
Metal Gear Solid 5 was good. Not the story, but like the gameplay was amazing.
Okay.
So, and the story wasn't bad. It was just like, there's so many things of, did they drop this chapter because Kojima didn't get it done in time and they forced him and all this stuff? It's all the drama.
Is there going to be a 6?
This is what I wanted to springboard off of, is that for me personally, you want to talk about Konami trying to make up fan service, make up their reputation, bring back the name Konami and Metal Gear. Right. I think it's a brilliant move to be putting David Hayter's Snake in Smash, to be putting David Hayter's Snake in Bomberman R, and I do think that does prep the ground for, hey, we want to do a HD remaster. We want to do hey, Blue Point, make Metal Gear Solid 3 from the ground up with the original cast or whatever. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Or even do a twin Snake.
All 3 and do a trilogy, do an original trilogy.
And that's the thing is, I think you see them prepping the field for something here.
But come on, we all know that the real secret source is Kojima, right? And the issue is, can they make a good Metal Gear game post Kojima?
That's the thing is, I think you could get away with it if you went the remake route, like they did. Like if you went to Blue Point and you're like, hey,
I mean, that's definitely one way to do it. That's a safe option, right? Because the game's already designed, you're just polishing it up.
And even if it was, you wanted to rein back in the Kojima-ness of it, where you do want to make it, more of a straight line story. You want to ground it more or something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I think if you're going to remake it, just remake it. I wouldn't go in and editorialize changes, because that's how you would get into trouble.
We'll see.
All right,
something's happening, Gary.
We will see. I mean, Metal Gear's too big a property for them to just let it.
Well, with the success of Metal Gear Survive, right?
Or lack of.
Gary, I'm excited to see what's next for Metal Gear, because either the internet will riot and go crazy, or they'll just be like, oh, this isn't that bad. David Hayter's in it, yay. But that's so far away. If I wanted to know what came to mom and grop shops today, where would it go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform, as listed by the Kind of Funny Games daily show hosts, each and every weekday.
Yeah. Out today, Angels of Death on Switch. If you are an indie developer, I would urge you to release your games on Wednesday on Switch. No one does that, and then you get to be listed twice, like Angels of Death on Switch does. Also, Fortnite's Playground mode is out today. It was put up and then brought offline when I was getting ready to do the morning show so that they could do some maintenance because something wasn't working right.
What is Playground mode?
Playground mode for Fortnite is and I'm sorry, I know I keep apologizing. So much Fortnite today. Playground mode is them saying, hey, you know what? Learning to build in our game is hard. And it's hard to play the game, not get killed, and learn to build at once, and especially when so many people are so much better than you are. Here's Playground mode. Just go build. You're not fighting.
It's like a safe space
just
where you can
learn
just
how to build stuff, learn what
That's
you
a good
want to
idea.
do. Yeah,
I was going to ask you if is there any kind of tutorial or shallow end, or does it just throw you at the deep end like PUBG?
Yeah, you're just tossed in there.
That's what I love about PUBG, man.
Sure.
There's just no
figure it out.
tutorial. Here's your shoot.
Yeah.
Try not to die immediately and just get on with it. And it really is a classic kind of survival of the fittest.
Hell yeah. New dates for you. Crush Your Enemies is coming to Nintendo Switch this summer. Black Sea Odyssey comes to PlayStation 4 on July 10th and 11th. That's North America and then EU. The Lion Song is coming to Nintendo Switch on July 10th. BFF or Die is coming to PC September 13th, 2018.
Oh, and look, Fortnite again.
Fortnite Season 5 has moved its date a little bit. This is from Epic over on the Battle Royale subreddit. You may have seen the timer update in-game, which means we are giving you 2 more days to complete Season 4. Season 5 will begin July 12th at 4 a.m. EDT. Want even more help earning those last few Battle Pass rewards? We'll be running a plus 100% match XP weekend starting June 29th at 4 a.m. EDT and ending July 2nd at 3 a.m. EDT. Hop in, catch up on your challenges, and earn some of those Season 4 rewards while you can. Meanwhile, deals of the day for you. And remember, if you're going to Kind of Funny Prom, bring your Switch. We're probably going to play Fortnite there. Deals of the day for you. PlayStation Plus games of July have been announced. Heavy Rain is coming to PlayStation 4. Absolver for PlayStation 4. Rayman 3 HD on PS3. Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess on PlayStation 3. Space Overlords on PS Vita. And then Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma on PlayStation Vita. Meanwhile, Xbox Game Pass is adding a whole bunch in July, but standouts include Shadow Complex, Fallout 3, and The Elder Scrolls 5.
Those are all big games, particularly the last two. Those are huge games.
Oh, yeah. Time for Reader Mail. But first, I'm going to tell you it's brought to you by Hims. 4hims.com is a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness, and more for men. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. You get well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. No snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. Prescription solutions backed by science. There's no waiting room, no awkward doctor visits. You can save hours by going to 4hims.com like Nick Scarpino and Andy Cortez did. Of course, they're worried about losing their hair, keeping what they got. So they took photos of their hairline. They sent it into this. They got feedback back. They teamed them up with these prescriptions, and now they're using that stuff to keep their hair.
Fascinating.
You can order now. My listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. See the website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to 4hims.com/gamesdaily. That's FORHIMS.com/gamesdaily. 4hims.com/gamesdaily. Matthew Novak gets the first question of Reader Mail. Write in kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, Gary, why are people mad about having to unlock characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? It has been confirmed that the starting roster will consist of the original N64 cast, and personally, I'm thrilled. We live in a world where hidden characters no longer exist, and new fighters must be paid for as DLC. I can understand why it might be annoying for content creators like you guys, but as a casual fan, I couldn't be happier. Do you care about unlocking characters in games? Is that a turn off to you?
It's not a turn off. I think it's, again, depends on what the method is to unlock them. If it's only for money, I don't like that because you get into the whole loot box argument again. But if it's done through, I'm looking at Mario Tennis, right? You can unlock, if you play the tournaments,
you unlock more.
You can unlock them early.
Yeah.
So I think if it's done through play and it's done in a way that is rewarding, I'm all for it. It's nice to it's nice to unlock things, but again, I know that they have to keep some stuff back to sell you DLC.
Well, yeah, I think he's not talking about that even. I think it's just the fact of Smash Brothers in general has always been that you're playing and then it's a new challenger approaches right when you win and it flashes and you have to beat the person to get them on your roster. I like that. I'm fine with that. There is the downside of it of You're going to a friend's house. You didn't bring your Switch. Oh, you want to play on theirs? Oh, they didn't unlock your main. Your main's not unlocked because of it.
Right.
That sucks. And I think it falls into the camp of, okay, now it's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, right? And I'm not saying there's nothing new under the sun in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We can't wait to get it. But it is the thing of like, well, should they all be unlocked from the beginning because we already know these characters, so we already have years of experience with who we want to play and what we want to do? I don't know. I don't care. I'm looking forward to unlocking them. The Switch we'll probably use in the office will be Tim's. I'm sure he'll have them unlocked on the first day. He's a crazy human being about Smash Brothers and going through. It is an interesting argument, though. And especially, I know you say for content creators like yourself, Matthew, I think it goes up even to, and I mean, I don't know how old you are, Matthew, but just adults with limited free time as well. Like, I know that when WWE, I'm a WWE game fan, when they introduced the pass in that was like, cool, you can play through this game and unlock every character the way you can by doing stories or having them interrupt or whatever, or you can pay the $10 whatever pass, I don't even know the hell what it's called or what it costs really, to unlock everything right away, right? Just unlock everything as soon as you got it. That for me made sense as well in terms of, well, when I was a kid and like, No Mercy dropped, I took the Friday off school and stayed up all night long and slept in the basement next to the N64, just playing and unlocking everything and enjoying and having a great time. But when am I going to have that much time to sink into WWE 2K whatever when I could just buy it that way and have it forever I want to do?
You got to ask, at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, what's more valuable to you, your time or your money?
Right. And so I think that's an argument for some people, Matthew, in terms of Smash, but it'll remain to be seen how long it'll take you to unlock all of that stuff.
Right.
Let's see.
What else you got?
I'm looking. I don't want to, we don't want to do that one. Just come over here. My dog, Nick96 from Massachusetts, writes in and says, hello, Greg, and the ghost of Gary Whitta. Yesterday, Andrea was wondering what the sales figures for Labo were. It got me thinking, why don't companies talk about their products that underperform? Obviously, it comes off negative, and maybe shareholders look at it as a bad sign, suggesting not to invest. But aren't shareholders always informed of how the business is doing? For competing companies, they could benefit from their rivals' failures, which is bad, but wouldn't it be better for the industry? Potentially, others could say, hey, it didn't work here, or it didn't work there, but here's how we're different. The consumer isn't affected in the least, I think. If anything, talking about it would keep the conversation and possibly get more people to buy it. Keep it in the conversation. How to run a company is not my forte, and the topic definitely extends to industries with more history. But I thought it was a curious question. Have a great day. My dog, Nick96. P.S. Watch party mode.
Has Labo underperformed? How do we know?
That's what we were talking about. It was the fact that I think yesterday you see this thing that they announced that it works now with Mario Kart. You can make the little steering wheel and drive with that or whatever. Then it was the conversation of, does that boost sales, you think, for Labo? To which I was like, yes, and I think that's the right thing to do. And it was Andrew being like, us both saying, it seems like it didn't do as well as maybe they wanted to. It seems like it didn't go gangbusters. And you're basing it off the fact of groundswell movement, how many people are talking about it, and then the fact that Nintendo hasn't come out and said, Labo sold 4.5 million units or whatever. Usually when something important like that happens in a video game, everybody toots their horn.
I care about if something is successful because is it going to continue? Will there be more support for it? I don't really care about that in the kind of the console wars of it all. I'm not one of those people that's keeping score. Oh, this underperformed, this overperformed. But if I bought Labo and I'm invested in it, I hope that it's successful because I want them to keep supporting it and releasing new stuff. That, if it dies, like Kinect, right? Some people, I'm sure there are a lot of people, well, maybe a few that liked Kinect who are now sad that it's dead and basically been Stalined out of existence because Microsoft is so embarrassed by it, rightly so. But there's always, there are people that love the Zune, those people are sad because, there's no longer a thing in the world. But it's not surprising that if something underperforms, companies don't draw your attention to that. Why would you be surprised by that?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, Nick. Yeah, it's like, shareholders will know what's underperforming, right? They have these meetings where they should be told that information. Yeah. But there's a difference between that and then there being a giant headline on IGN that like Nintendo...
you get the story either way, right? Microsoft don't release Xbox One sales numbers because they're embarrassed, but the fact that they don't tells its own story, right? Well, geez, how embarrassing is it?
Right.
That you won't even release numbers.
And you figure stocks, so much of it is the public perception, right? I saw this and I don't even throw it around because I never saw it referenced in our article. Somewhere I had seen something about Sony stock prices based purely on the hullabaloo that was happening around E3.
Right.
And like that can happen, right? Whether it's good or bad. If people are excited or like when the Switch's Japanese debut conference was like a shit show. We were all like, ugh, and like Nintendo's stock went down. Like that happens because it is What is everybody? How are you reading the tea
But it
leaves?
just goes to show how short-sighted the market is, right? I mean,
Sure.
you see Apple stock, go up or down very, very quickly based on every earnings call and every keynote that they do. But that doesn't always tell the full story. Like you said,
Yeah.
if you had invested in the Switch based on that first conference, you would now have egg on your face because the Switch is going gangbusters, and you probably would not have. You would say, "Oh, I don't like the look at this." Here's
Yeah.
Nintendo going down another weird road again. And I got to tell you, I was there as well. When I first saw the Switch, I was like, really? You're doubling down on Wii U?
Yeah.
Because this felt like just going further down the Wii U road, and the Wii U road had not been successful for them. But again, shows what we know, because Switch has been just phenomenally successful for Nintendo.
LJN writes in
I like the reference.
to kindoffunny.com.
LJN.
LJN. Kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, hey, KFGD. On Monday's show, Greg was talking about how much he played Fortnite. Stick with me, everybody. But mentioned that, of course, it wouldn't be his game of the year. This had me wondering what your opinions are on multiplayer only or heavily multiplayer-focused games receiving Game of the Year awards. In 2016, Overwatch took the lion's share of Game of the Year awards, and last year, at least one large gaming site gave PUBG Game of the Year over Breath of the Wild. Personally, I don't like it because I'm a single player guy, but I wanted to hear the opinions of KFGD, the best gaming podcast in the business. That's right. Suck it, Gamescast. I have no problem with multiplayer only games winning Game of the Year
Doesn't
awards.
bother
What are
me
you
at
talking
all.
about?
If the best game of the year happens to be a multiplayer only game, as
Yeah.
PUBG arguably was for many people last year, give it your vote.
Yeah. I think it always comes down to is that Game of the Year is such a nebulous title. What does that mean to you? When I was at IGN and we were reviewing games, I always talk about it the year Journey versus Walking Dead, whatever was up against The Walking Dead Season 1 that year, where I was like, people were making, I reviewed all The Walking Dead, I loved all The Walking Dead made me cry, all this different stuff. Loved, it's an experience I'll never forget. And when we got to the Game of the Year thing and people were making an argument for Walking Dead, they turned to me and I was like, listen, everything I just said about Walking Dead, Game of the Year to me means you look back at this in 5 years, like this is the pinnacle of what gaming was that year. And Walking Dead, its problems running, its crashes, its saves, like that keeps it for me on a technical level of doing it. And that's not to say technical level is the only thing that matters for a Game of the Year conversation. It's a million other things. And so even now, I don't think that's how I necessarily look at it. You look at our E3 game of the show, where I was arguing that I think Last of Us 2 was the best game I saw a gameplay demo at E3. And Tim's like, sure, but everybody else is voting Cyberpunk. And I'm like, I love Cyberpunk. And Tim was finally like, okay, cool, but think of it this way. Everyone is talking about Cyberpunk. It is the game of the show for E3. And I was like, you just won my vote. That's a great argument. That's a completely different take on the argument, right? Not what was the best game of the game you're most interested in, the thing that looked the prettiest, yada, yada, yada. It was the fact that was the zeitgeist, that, hey, this game had stolen everybody's hearts and minds.
That's a bit sheepish, though, isn't it, to say that your vote went to a game because everyone else was talking about it? Like, go with the game that you personally like the best, not the one that is the most popular.
Well, I still would have voted
else.
for Last of Us, but I was saying that's when I gave up my argument. In the in the way of, like, if we're going to define what is E3 game of the show by what is the zeitgeist, what is the thing, what blew every, you know what I mean? Like, there's part of that to be.
Yeah, what's captured the imagination of people at the show the most?
Sure, exactly.
But again, if your personal choice was Last of Us, why does the fact that a lot of other people preferred something else, why would that change your mind?
I love Cyberpunk 2 as well.
Okay.
I mean, I already lost. It was just a conversation.
Okay, I see.
I didn't have the votes. I wasn't going to sway anybody's mind.
I see what you mean. Okay.
Nick
but you would
Scarpino
say that if you were
sucking that
asked
CD
personally what your game of the show is, you would still go with Last of Us too. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
So, LJN, get off multiplayer, all right? It's fine. It can be game of the show.
It's fine. No problems. Do you think he's named after the LJN? Do you think that's where that reference
Who's the
came from?
LJN?
LJN is the
I just did
company
that thing where I was like, yeah,
LJN is the company that made all the bad Nintendo games back in the 80s.
Oh, no, I bet his name's like Larry Johnson Nebulous or something.
No, I bet you that's a reference to the game company.
All right, let us know, LJN. And nobody try to fake it. We'll know. And here's an easy one. This is a slam dunk question for us, Gary. Final one of the day. Gavin VanNoorden writes in to kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, hey, Kinda Funny crew. Thanks for making the rad content each and every weekday on a variety of platforms for my listening pleasure. My question for you guys is, what do you do when a game doesn't connect with you? I've been trying to play through I Am Setsuna. I usually enjoy JRPGs, and I should like it in theory. However, I just can't seem to make it through the game. I've tried 3 or 4 times to finish this game, but I keep putting it down. When is enough enough? Should I push through games like this so that I can check them off my completion list or say I played it? Or should I just head down the line of my massive backlog of amazing games I've missed? Gary, What do you do when a game doesn't connect for you?
Play something else.
You turn it the fuck off and move on.
Play different. Do something else.
No one cares about your report card of how many games you've completed. If you feel like you're not having fun with the game, stop playing that game.
Sometimes there are games that, again, if it's a thing where everyone's saying, "Oh my god, this is the thing," and you're thinking maybe it's me. Like maybe if I just, it's kind of like, sometimes when someone recommends a TV show to you and they say like, give it a few episodes.
I'm like, no, fuck
like
you.
The pilot
no.
might not hook you, but like give it a few.
Yeah.
We were like that. I remember we watched Mad Men. It was like the first couple were like, everyone's talking about it, but it's not working for me.
Yeah.
Got 4 or 5 into it, and then the hook started to get in.
Yeah.
And sometimes games can be like that. You might not get it right off the
I mean,
first.
like 3 or 4
couple
hours
of
though. You're in there. I mean,
if I would say that if a game does not. If I was the producer on a game, and the dev team was saying like, you got to give this a good 5 hours before it really clicks for you, I'd say we've got a problem.
Yeah.
A game should be getting its hooks into you earlier than that. Because a lot of people won't give it 5 hours.
Yeah. No, you got to get out there.
Time is too valuable these days. Some games are less than 5. You can play the whole game in less than 5 hours. But even like a 60-hour game should get its hooks into you right away.
Yeah.
And most video games, the big ones at least, are structured that way, like blockbuster movies, where they front load
Here's this big
with
moment,
a big
this big
opening
thing.
sequence or something that hooks you early on. In the world of screenwriting and movies, they'll tell you like something had better happen within the first 10 pages to hook the reader, or in the first 10 minutes of the film to hook the audience. Otherwise, they're going to tune out.
You got to be.
And video games are much the same.
I think a lot of people get hung up on thinking they can't just leave a game behind. You can leave a game behind.
You
It's
totally
fine.
can.
And I understand you have an investment in it. That's a different thing.
Plenty more
I remember
fish in
when
the sea.
my parents would give me a video game and like, this is your birthday present. I'm like, well, no, I'm stuck with this. I got to.
Well, that's often the. I mean, that's a different thing. If you've got a big sunk cost, if you've spent like your whole month's paper route money or something buying a game, if you're a kid, and even if the game's fighting you, like you think, well, shit, I bought the game, I can't take it back to the store. It's this or nothing. The die is cast.
Yeah,
you got to play it, and then maybe it does click.
It's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD. Give me your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you, and everybody has a good time together. Today, Nick from good old New Zealand writes in. He needs help with mobile. His username is NA. Stick with him. Nick says, this is a little different, but requires some help. Honestly, I have had some shit days lately. Stress, anxiety. I could go on, but what I want is for the Kinda Funny best friends to just pick up their phones, pick a random person, and just send them a text to say you love and appreciate them. Something so small can go a long way to someone going through a rough patch. Sorry, this wasn't a traditional squad up, but hey, worth a shot.
I like the sentiment.
Nick, that's a lovely message.
Spread some love. Why
Don't
not?
apologize for that. Everybody pick up your phone right now. Pick up your phone, Gary.
I don't have it with me.
Gary, why do you hate like fun? You know what I mean?
I'm trying to not be quite so soldered to my phone.
Too much fun. I'm gonna do this, and I'm
Who are you gonna? How do you pick someone at random?
I'm gonna go contacts.
Okay.
Contacts.
And then just like give it one flip.
Exactly.
And see who comes up.
It wasn't a good one.
Who's at the top?
We're giving it to Laura Bailey.
Who's that?
She's a voice actress.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Laura Bailey VO.
Hey, Laura.
Is this going to be weird if she doesn't know the context that this is an exercise that you're conducting?
Talented performer and a great person. This ties into a podcast segment.
Yeah, I feel like you have to qualify this a little bit, otherwise it might get weird.
This ties into a podcast segment, semicolon. I'm not dying or anything.
You might be.
Well, thanks, Gary. That's a wink heart. There you go. Hey, Laura, you're a talented performer and a great person. This ties into a podcast segment. I'm not dying or anything. Wink emoji heart. There you go.
I like it.
Now,
I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Chances are she's probably in labor right now, and that's what's gonna she's probably why would I want to talk to Greg Miller? Gary.
Yeah.
We ask people watching live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames as we record this show to write in to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it.
What did we get wrong?
So we can set the entire record straight.
I know nothing about Fortnite, so I'm sure I got some things wrong. You would have already corrected me, though, I think.
No, well, it's not. Here we go. Bill from Charlotte writes in and says, Germany only has 4 stars, 4 World Cup wins.
That's right. I said they have 4. Brazil has 5.
Brazil has 5, the most. Well, then
I
Bill's
said 4.
Okay, I was miles away, so I had no idea what was happening.
Okay.
Kebabs writes in and says, Fortnite's tutorials are contained to the Save the World mode, but if a tree falls in the woods... So if you play the mode nobody plays, there's tutorials.
Well, sometimes that's what you want. I would have loved the ability on in PUBG to just like run around and get used to the weapons and stuff. You get like 30 seconds before you jump onto the island.
That happens too. You can run around before you get on the battle bus and pick up stuff.
But that's not very. But again, what I would like to do is just
yeah.
jump on an empty map and shoot at some cardboard targets just to kind of get ahead. Because again, PUBG is so unforgiving. The second you land, and sometimes you can get shot before your shoot even deploys.
Yes.
The second you land, there's a good chance you're going to get murdered.
Brian
and so
McBrien.
there's very little opportunity to kind of like relax and like go to a shooting. I wish there was like a shooting range or something where you could practice more. But no, that's what makes it so hardcore.
Brian McBrien corrects me on playground mode as well. Playground mode in Fortnite that's launched this today. You can die. There is shooting, but it's immediate respawn. Also, the game lasts 1 hour with the circle shrinking in the final 5 minutes. So a lot more leeway to play around. And
Right. So more forgiving.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Shredberg writes in and says, in a recent interview, Reggie said, quote, so it's this is Labo. So it's absolutely met our expectations. And to put this in perspective, we see Nintendo Labo as a title and a platform that will sell for extended periods of time. Also, Nintendo gives game sales for their best-selling games per platform and likely will give sales when they release July. Okay, he says. Lord of Pwn says, according to NPD analyst and friend of the show, Matt Piscatella, Labo has had a solid launch month sales, but stressed the biggest test will be this holiday season. I was right. The Journey was up against Walking Dead that year in 2012. PSVR Trooper says, for kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, Gary will in fact will not attend Kind of Funny Prom.
I'm not attending?
He's predicting you ain't going to do it.
Oh, that's the prediction. Okay. He may well be right.
God damn it.
I'm 50-50. I may flip a coin.
Why? Just come.
I don't know.
Wear your sweats. People will love it.
Just come
People.
hang out, man. Have some fun, man.
That's the other thing is I got nothing to wear.
Your sweats. It's your look.
Just come.
I'm not
Wear
wearing
this
sweats
shirt.
right now.
Wear this
I
shirt.
guess I could wear this. If England is still in the tournament,
There
I'll
you
wear
go.
the shirt.
There you
Well, they
go.
definitely will be.
Yeah.
Because they can't get knocked out before the weekend. So.
There you go. Then wear the shirt.
Maybe
You're
I'll just
fine.
go. Maybe I'll just go with this. But what I need is like an 80s or a 90s England shirt. Maybe I can scrape one up before.
There you go.
I'll go through my old drawers and see what I can find.
Okay.
I might have an old legacy England shirt somewhere from the glory days.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday in a variety of platforms, we run you to the nerdy video game news you need to know about.
I still want to show my PUBG clips, but I'll do it.
I forgot you had PUBG clips shown.
We don't have to do that
No,
online,
we're doing it
though.
right
We can
now.
just do
It's
that
happening.
offline.
We're doing it. No, we're not doing it offline. So Gary, of course, is a pro PUBG player.
Okay, so, well, I wouldn't
Kevin,
say
throw this
pro.
up right now. If you're an audio listener, it's
I'm
going to get
trying
work
to
for you.
find-
Scroll all the way to the bottom, Kevin. Look at that Book of Eli Whitta behind the scenes. You've lost so much weight.
I know. I used to be a fat boy. And yeah, I'm way skinnier in that than I was back then, right?
Yeah.
No, but go up to go to Shotgun of the Week. You'll see it in the bottom corner there.
If you want to, of course, if you want to watch these at home, listeners, you can
So
go
you
to G Whitta.
Go to G Whitta on YouTube and don't forget to like and subscribe.
There you go.
So let me just pause this for a second. Let me just cue this up for you. So as you'll see, I love this.
I love it. I love
doing
it.
the director's commentary here. I was pinned down in this house. There is a guy running around outside. As you see, everyone else on my squad is dead. I'm playing with Ollie Moss, with Will Smith, and someone else whose name is covered up by Shotgun of the Week. But this is the squad that I used to run with. I'm the only one left. No bandages, half health, one shell in my double-barreled shotgun here, what we call the grandpa shotgun, the grandpappy shotgun. And it's not looking good for me. There is a guy outside this house. He knows that I'm pinned down in here. He knows that I'm low on health, knows that I'm low on ammo, and he's coming to kill me. So let's roll tape.
Roll tape. Like you're fucking on the Tonight Show.
Yeah, I believe you
Hit
pulled a
it, Kev.
clip. This is his will in my ear telling me that I'm about to
if
get
you want to
murdered.
drop out.
Watch this though.
Fucking shotgun round.
And now here comes the
The
wall.
wall.
The
The wall
wall is
gotcha.
eating me as well.
At least
Chase
we
him
were
out.
in their game too.
I know that
Jump out
guy's
the
down at the
window.
bottom of
Jump
that
out the window.
staircase. I know he's there, and he knows I'm up here. It's one of my favorite kills of all time in this
Deciding
game.
if you're worth it. He's gonna be so fucking pissed when he loots you.
There he is. That's how you do it.
Look at that.
That's how you do
Gary
it.
Whitta, you hero.
Get some health off him. Get some bullets.
Yeah, he might have guns.
I was so excited
My
I forgot
buddy
to loot
has
the
help.
guy's body.
Yeah, I know. I hate it when that
all right,
happens.
what else we got?
God, I missed that game.
Let me pick another one for you. I got a couple of
Audio listeners, I'll let you know if you're going to want to tune off early. Greg and Jared are hosting tomorrow. Greg and Andrea on Friday.
So let's see what else we got here.
Just a heads up, the internet crapped out.
Okay.
Oh, so this is go to the Dream Extended Edition. This is actually my friend Jamie Dillian, who streams a lot on Twitch. We were playing duos, and this is her kill, and she did an amazing kill.
Wait, you're
here.
ripping off your friends' clips and putting them on your channel?
We parked a Jeep,
Uh-huh.
and someone stole our Jeep.
Oh, he took the
And Jamie
fucking-
was not happy about it. Like this is the guy like fucking off with our vehicle
Right, yeah,
here. She was not happy. All she has is a pistol. She's got a Beretta
is she
92.
playing
That's
with
all
a
she's
dog?
got.
She's playing with a dog in her lap.
Wait.
Yeah, he took our Jeep. He boosted it.
Yeah, light him up. You never know. You never
Oh,
I hit him in the goddamn head!
That's awesome.
So that was a good one.
Clip it.
Don't you miss it?
Clip it, clip it, clip it, clip it,
It's a fun
clip
game.
it.
Sorry.
Clip it, clip it, clip it. What else you got? Let's do a couple more. These are some. This is going to get me back into playing PUBG because these kills were so satisfying. Let's see. Let's try.
What's more
try-
delicious chicken?
You want to
You're
try more delicious
celebrating, you're
chicken? All right,
celebrating
this
there. I
was
like
a
that.
chicken. I probably didn't get the final kill though,
No.
because I very rarely do.
Oh, so you're up in your squad.
So here we are, final circle. This is when the ever tightening.
spectating,
This is when
yeah.
the ever tightening sphincter. Oh yeah, I'm dead.
You're
Everyone on
stealing
our
people's
squad. So here I'm
kills.
playing with my friend Poet, with Regina Wu, and with Dry Penguin, who's another excellent player.
I see him.
This is where you find yourself leaning into the
What?
screen,
Do you
looking for
stream?
like.
Do you stream anymore? Do you do any?
I haven't been streaming lately, but you know what? When I get back into PUBG, as I will soon, I might start streaming a little bit more. I really enjoyed it.
Or you try some of that Fortnite with us.
Stream
Oh,
some
here
Fortnite
comes the
with us.
wall. See, I love this.
Chicken
There you
dinner,
go.
motherfuckers.
That's how you get chicken. I got one kill in that game.
Not too shabby.
Car set.
I told you.
I got better ones than that though. Go back again. Oh,
All right,
I
this
got
is your final one, Mr. Witta.
but the final one is in 3 parts because it's so good. So go to Buggy Boys 1. So these guys in this goddamn buggy.
Why is this in 3 clips?
It's in 4 clips because it's so awesome.
Okay.
All right. So again, this is me and Wedge and Dry Penguin. And who else is playing in this one? This might be Will. So these two guys in 2 buggies. 4 guys in 2 buggies, two to a buggy, chasing us down in the rain. God, so dramatic.
What is going on?
Trying to get these guys.
That was amazing.
Taking a lot of
They're
fire.
going to be able to outrun us
Eventually going to have to bail out.
if they choose to chase us.
This was very
shit.
satisfying.
That was
The 2 of our
crazy.
guys have taken serious damage.
I've literally never seen anything like that.
Vehicle combat in this game is so much fun.
Are they still coming?
They're back.
They're still chasing
Are we getting
us
Nastasia?
because the buggies are hard to hit. Okay, so go to Buggy Boys 2.
Why did you break it into 3 clips?
I can't remember why. It was, I wasn't like.
Oh, wait.
That's Buggy Boys 3.
Then we can't jump to the.
No, that's right. You don't want to miss the second,
there's
the crucial
4?
second act.
Why is there 4?
I don't know why there's 4. Maybe you don't need to show the 4th one because the 4th one's where I get killed. But show Buggy Boys 2.
And they're not even.
They are.
All right, so we ditched the vehicle
It's a
and
12-second clip.
They're here.
Oh, murdered those buggy guys.
He's dead.
Good job.
Killed
Good
the fir- I
job.
think I killed. Oh, I think I killed everyone on the squad except the last guy. So Buggy Boys 3.
Yeah.
I loved killing these buggy guys. All right, here we go. I know this guy's downstairs. I'm the only one left alive. That guy's fucking dead.
Make him pay, Gary. Nice.
So that's 2. I get the 3rd guy, and then the 4th guy does a little bit of trickery and gets me.
Watch,
Yeah,
don't
A little
run
bit of
out the
health,
window.
a
They
little
got
bit
a
of
sniper
first
out
aid
there.
here.
We probably should have gone upstairs.
God, this game is so much fun. I really got back into playing it.
Oh, this
It
is-
makes me too tense. That's the problem. You play
Kevin,
games to relax.
we had a problem with that staircase. Remember that?
Yep.
So I found my way up
They got a
here,
sniper
and I
with
think the
Prom,
guys.
and Wedge.
I remember what I did. I go into.
There he is.
There he is.
You fire some off in the
know,
air.
I know.
Let him know. Don't fuck with me.
I'm gonna let this guy come up. I'm gonna let this guy. Now he knows where I am, so I'm gonna let him come up and get me. I got badly injured. Need another little band-aid here.
Spasmgasm 440 in the chat goes, this is the gamer equivalent to showing off pictures of your kids.
I know, it really is. All right, let's show the last one. 'cause I
Final
think
one, the finale
Buggy
of Buggy Boys.
Buggy Boys 4 has got the last kill, and then the last guy did a little bit of trickery to get me. Yeah. You're not gonna lean around that corner, dude. Just lets me kill you earlier. And then there's one guy left. The problem now is I should have moved.
Gary, why aren't you excited? Do you see yourself in this video? Look at.
He's a fucking killing machine.
I know. It's just there's no. Look at that.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
murder him, and then
One breath.
That guy, and the
one
thing is,
breath.
that guy knew where I was. The problem here is that I didn't move at this point because obviously all the dead players are now saying to the last guy.
Is there a Buggy Boys 5?
There's a Buggy Boys 4.
That we
That's
saw
the-
for.
that's
That was
the-
4.
that was 4.
That was 4?
Yeah.
That was 4.
Oh, you know what? I probably didn't. I probably
You
didn't
didn't
save
put
the
up your
clip where I
kill.
got
Yeah,
killed.
okay, cool.
Man, PUBG,
You're a
the
gem.
most fun.
You're
I'm
a
gonna have to
gem.
get back into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Remember, each and every weekday, all the news, Twitch, YouTube, podcast. You know how to do it. Got a hair in my mouth.
Get it out.
I feel like I don't tell you this part of having a beard. You can get weird hairs in your mouth.
Yeah, that's one of the things I never liked about having a beard. Can never sustain a beard for that.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share, Patreon, all that jazz. Gary, thank you for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.